Welcome back, YouTube. In this video, I am going to be installing speakers into my 89 Camaro. So, for the 89 Camaro, you're going to need 4x6s and 6x9s. And before we get started, make sure you unplug your battery so you don't get shocked or you don't pop any fuses. So whether you're trying to figure out where your speakers are or you're changing them out, either one you'll figure out with this video. So in the back seat, I already took these little panels out. This is what they look like. And they have the little hooks that attach to them up top. But there's one on this side. Obviously someone's replaced these speakers before. And of course one over on this side. And I'm assuming there's supposed to be bolts on each one of those holes in there. So take those out and then we can get started putting these new ones in. Yeah, this is what I just took out. Pretty old. They're decent speakers. They're Pioneers. And if you look on the back, it gives you all the information on. They're 100 watts, 4 ohm. It's not bad, but they get old and outdated and soft. And some of them are blown out. I know the one in the front's blown out, so I'm gonna throw that off to the side. Now I've got the proper size ones that I'm gonna throw in. So this is what I've got once I took the speaker out. You can see the whole mounting plate and everything. I guess that's how it's supposed to look, but whoever put those speakers in extended these or put extra wires on these and put them together, but the wires that are on here are really frayed. One of them's got, looks like a chew mark on it. I think this car had mice living in it because it was sitting for so long. But I've got to replace those. So let me replace those and I'll show you guys what to do. There you go. I just took all of the wiring and electrical tape off there. And what you're going to have is a yellow wire and a brown wire. That's the brown wire right there. It just has the yellow on the inside where it used to be connected. So if you have the same issue I'm having, then you can take back those wires, put in some new wires, maybe a decent size gauge if it was smaller, and extend those out. And I'll go ahead and put the wiring diagram in, just like I did for my radio install video. But if you guys didn't know, the yellow is going to be your negative and the brown is going to be your positive. So when you put the new speakers in, you don't reverse them. Another thing you can do is get these wires, and they are quite long. I guess they wanted to include enough wire just in case you wanted to rewire your whole car. But if you don't need to rewire the whole thing and you don't need all this, you can cut it off down here and join it at the positive and the negative that you already have exposed in there. Unless you already have some of these existing, they can pop into the new one. But these ones are two different sizes, so you can't mix up positive and negative. And if you look on the back on the terminals here, one has a positive, which is the bigger one, and one has a negative, which is the smaller terminal. So when you put them together, make sure you put them together right. One has the stripe and one's solid black. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to chop it off at the bottom and join it up so I have both of these to plug into the new speaker. Alright, now everything is all connected, so I can finally throw the speaker in there. So I'm going to attach the wires up there, like I said, to the speaker terminals on the back. And because mine didn't have screws, I have to use the hardware that they gave me. So they have the real long screws here with a washer and a nut at the end of it. So I got to use those and put them in there. If you guys have the original ones, I suggest using those because they're probably shorter than these long ones. So yep, plug it in, throw the bolts in there, and stereo system is awesome. Now if you do want to put these covers on, what you're going to have to do is just push the screen out. It'll pop out, and as you can see by the light, there's a hole up there and a hole down there. You're going to use these long bolts that come with it, and they're going to be on the inside of that, and you have to use a washer on top of there to actually hold it down, or else the head of it will just go in and out. And once you get everything put on, then you can put this mesh screen back on. It just pops in and out. And this is what it's going to look like all installed. On the Camaro, I can't put on the cover that comes with it, or else it'll be a little too bulky once I actually put this little felt covering back on. So I'm just going to keep it just like this and put the cover back on and do the exact same thing on the other side. So over here on the right side of the car, if you guys need to know, the light blue is going to be your negative, and your dark blue is going to be your positive. Okay, so I plugged in my battery real quick just to see if everything works. So all I did was turn on my radio. Sad thing is it reset everything, so I just flipped to the next station and then turn it on, go to the back, and I can hear it, and then to the other side and you can hear it. So both sides are working, so everything was put together correctly. Now I'm going to detach the battery and do the front ones because I'm only halfway done. Okay, now we are on to the front two speakers, which are a little difficult to get to, but it's not too difficult once you see how it's done. So there's a few screws that you have to take out to remove this whole dash, and that's pretty much it. The only downside is you have to take out the whole dash just to get to your speakers, but it's not too bad. So if you look up here, there's 4 screws, just normal Phillips head, regular. Take those out. Big thing about these being up here, because this car is so old, there's a possibility of them going through the actual dash and everything being really brittle. So be careful. If you have a magnetic one, do that. And also when you screw it back in, be careful not to push them in too far. Alright, gets a better light up in here. So you've got all these screws and everything that you see under here. Those are for your different mounts and defrosting unit and everything. You'll see it once you take this off, but the ones you need to worry about are the ones I've taken out, just the ones up at the lip. So that one, and that one, and then again on the other side, that one's totally gone. That one crapped out on me, and then the last 2 over there. Those are the only ones you have to pull out, along with the ones up top, those 4, and this whole thing will slide right out. So I just finished taking out all the ones on the bottom, and I could only get one of the ones on the top out. The other one's just spun in place. So all you have to do for that is to push the top portion towards you until it starts to catch. Then grab your screwdriver, put it up there and loosen it up, and it'll slide forward. Let me try the other side to see if those are both out. Yep, those are both out, even though they're sitting in there, they're not attached to anything. So now I just have to slide this whole thing forward and put this in a place. Alright, I put it out, set it outside the door, and now that we're up here, whatever screws or bolts or whatever are holding these in, they gotta come out. And it looks like I've got maybe 5/16 or 9/32. I have no idea, so let me take these out. Here's a quick tip for this Camaro. It's pretty hard to find, but underneath your vents here, you've got 2 screws and a little clear piece. And I guess a lot of people don't know about this, is when you turn your lights on, it's not a courtesy light, but when you turn your lights on, up here, once I have the dash opened up, I found that this bulb was out. I replaced the bulb, and if you turn your lights on, because if you look up here, these are on, my doors are open, so excuse the beep. But now my lights are on, and I replaced the bulb, and now this lights up. So, if you guys are wondering about that, you didn't know what it was, or you knew that it was a light bulb and you don't know what size it is, It is a 74, and I'll go ahead, like all my other videos, I'll put the stuff down below in the description so you can check it out if you do want to get it. Alright, just took out my old speaker. This one's blown, you can even hear it. Nice and crunchy. Don't want that anymore. And now, we've got our new one. And it's the same thing as before. If you've got, well, mine's the opposite now, because I actually have both the little plugs up here, and they've been lengthened already, so I know the wiring's good on this, just the speakers are bad, because they're still getting power to both of these, so I'm just going to leave those and pop this one in. I'm going to try to use the existing screws that were in there, but again, the pack comes with new screws, so I'm going to throw this in and do the same to the other side. Again, if you needed help knowing which one's which, the gray is negative and the tan is positive. So the darker one's the gray, the little lighter tan one is going to be positive. Well, turns out that this speaker was blown because whoever wired this in the first place wired it backwards. So the negative went in the positive went in the negative. That's what I'm guessing. So I had to take it out, swap it, and now I get to throw it up in there. When you do this, make sure you route it underneath first, so it's nice and clean. Just in case you guys need it, this is the right side. The light green is positive, and the dark green is negative. There they both are, nice and beautiful and installed. Now I just need to grab that top cover, place it back on, and do the screws on the top and the ones underneath that still exist, like that one, not that one. So that's it. Go ahead and put your battery back on and listen to your new sound system.